Hey guys, welcome back to the CubeTube. You are watching another episode of Super Smash Bros. Melee. Today is the day where I show you off the entire trophy collection. I say that with such excitement because I've spent the last 3 weeks of this game grinding for everything. Everything in this game is officially done, checked off, and accounted for. You want proof? There's your proof. All 290 trophies in this game have been gotten. It was a very long, it was a very tedious process at times, but overall it was also a lot of fun as well, and I did enjoy it to a certain degree. Yeah, so I did say somewhere in the project this was going to be the last episode, and much like the Mewtwo episode, that's true and it's also not true. Because what I mean by that is, first of all, this is for multiple reasons. This one's going to be a very long episode because I am going to show off all 290 trophies. And I'm also going to explain how you can get all, well, not all the trophies, but most of the trophies in the game. And this episode, it is technically, it's not even the last episode, but this episode is going to be split up. I don't know if I'm going to split it up in 3, 4, 5. I'll come to that bridge when we cross to it. But there is actually going to be one more episode after this. It's just basically me showing off versus mode, explaining my final thoughts, etc., etc. So, but really quick before we check out the gallery, I do want to show the lottery really quick. This is the lottery. I mean, this is how you can get a lot of trophies in the game. You get, obviously, coins that you can get in versus mode, classic, adventure, or all-star, and you can come spend them here. Obviously, you can see at the top of the screen, chances of getting a new trophy are 0%. That is because we have all the trophies in the game, so no matter what, therefore, we will get a duplicate. Like, who are we gonna get right here? Hate Giant. Okay, yeah, well, see, yeah, there's really no point in playing the lottery anymore. And let's just review off the collection really quick. This is probably one of my favorite things about Super Smash Bros. Melee, is this is, I mean, essentially, it's almost kind of like a panoramic shot of every trophy you have. But also in the background, we have some cool references to some Nintendo history right here. We've got the NES, and then over there we've got a Game Boy. Looks like, I'm assuming that's a Nintendo Power Magazine. That's a cactus. That's a Nintendo 64 with the Smash Brothers cartridge in it. It's a GameCube, best console ever. Game Boy Advance, I think it's a Game Boy Color, I think. And that is a Super Nintendo. So, yeah, cool little... I always like this little part of the game. You can basically see in your entire trophy collection. But let's get on to the main show, shall we? So like I said, there are 290 trophies. I will explain how you can get some of the trophies. If I don't explain how you can get a trophy, then assume you can get it either in the lottery or you can get it in... you can find it lying around in either Classic, Adventure, or All-Star mode. So, yeah. So let's just get this started, shall we? Let's stop wasting time and let's get to the show. Alrighty, here we go, guys. Alpha. Little polar bear. Little panda bear. I actually don't know where this guy is from, to be honest with you. If anybody wants to fill me in, that'd be awesome. A creature in an imaginary cubist world where survival of the fittest is the rule. These creatures have strong, efficient bodies and the cute faces of pandas. They form family groups and treat each other lovingly, yet have no respect for other beasts. Their favorite foods seem to be meat and bamboo grass. And I don't know where this guy comes from, so if anybody wants to fill me in, that'd be awesome. Anyway, now we have Andross. Andross, of course, was first introduced... Well, this iteration of Andross was introduced in Star Fox 64 for the N64, released in June of 1997. This incarnation of Andross was so big as to be ridiculous, but it at least appeared to be a living being. Andross was once a brilliant scientist, but was banished from the galaxy for his dangerous experiments. From the planet Venom, he readied his troops and directed his sword of vengeance toward the Lilat system. Then we have this iteration of Andross, which is from the OG Star Fox, which was released in March of 1993. Star Fox's archenemy, whether it's a metallic manifestation of Andross or just a hologram, is unknown. But from its outward appearance, it's safe to assume that it's not the Fiend's true form. Andross occasionally sucks matter in and then violently exhales, sending out a cloud of metal tiles. Its eyes are its weak points. Here we have Annie from Custom Robo 2. That was, this is a common theme we'll see, where we see a bunch of characters from games that were, like, exclusively released in Japan. Annie, a jumper model in the Stunner line of robots, was the robot used by Nanase. I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right. A cadet at the Takuma Academy, a commander training school. At the climax of the story, Nanase fell prey to the temptation and stained her hands with the illegal robot Majel. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right either. This act ultimately set the stage for her undeniably tragic end. Say spoiler alert, game. Oh my god. Anyway, here's good old Articuno from, of course, Pokemon Red and Blue, released in September 1998. Clouds gather, the barometer plunges, and fresh snow falls from the frigid air when this legendary Pokemon takes wing. Graceful and elegant, it boasts long tail feathers that flap in the wind and are lovely to behold. As would be expected, its combat moves are based on its cold nature. They include Ice Beam and Blizzard. Here we have Arwing from Star Fox, released in March of '93. The Arwing is the symbol of Star Fox. Like an F-Zero racer, it's equipped with an opposing gravity device. It can barrel roll and flip with ease thanks to its quick acceleration and flexible control. In battle, the ship uses retractable wings for precise flying. Every Arwing has smart bombs as its sub-weapons. Okay, here we have Ayumi Tachibana from Famicom Detective Club Part 2. Rolls right off the tongue, right? Ayumi's the heroine of the Detective Club games, which were made for the Famicom Disk System. In the first installment of the series, Ayumi solved the murder of one of her friends, and shortly thereafter she opened her own investigative agency. Since those early days, she's proven to be a daring and peerless crime solver. Here we have Baby Bowser, who was first introduced in Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, from October of 1995. Even as a youngster, Baby Bowser was already playing pranks and causing trouble for Baby Mario and his pal Yoshi. Even at this early age of his evil career, Baby Bowser had tons of henchmen at his disposal. Many experts speculate that Mario and Bowser have some sort of connection that can be traced back to their mutual births. And here's Baby Mario, also from Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island. Long ago, when the stork was carrying Baby Mario and Baby Luigi to the Mario household, the stork was ambushed, causing Baby Mario to tumble onto Yoshi's Island. This marked the beginning of the Yoshi's adventure to deliver Baby Mario to his parents. Since then, Baby Mario's been spotted on golf courses and tennis courts. And on baseball diamonds, which, well, technically, Mario Superstar Baseball didn't come till after this game, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Ball Kirby from Kirby's Adventure, which was released in May of 1993. When Kirby swallows a ball enemy, he turns into a ball and can bounce off of floors and walls. It's tough to control, but well worth it for the strong attack power it gives Kirby. After his debut in Kirby's Adventure, Ball Kirby has popped up in several more Kirby games, such as Kirby's Pinball Land and Kirby's Block Ball. Here we have Balloon Fighter from the NES game of the same name. Or, no, I'm sorry, it's just Balloon Fight, I'm sorry. Balloon Fight from and this was released in June of '86. The goal in Balloon Fight is to break your enemy's 2 balloons, depriving him of his flotation devices. If you lose 1 balloon, your buoyancy drops, and it becomes harder to rise. As you can pop both friends' and enemies' balloons, you have to stay alert in this 2-player fun fest. The balloonist's name is unknown. Also a fun fact about Balloon Fight, which I actually did not know until a couple of years ago. Balloon Fight is actually very similar, and I think it was actually based off of the arcade game Joust. Anyway, here is Barrel, which was first introduced in the OG Smash Bros. From April of 1999. Like crates, barrels are often filled with items and occasionally explosive. Thrown barrels may break on contact or go rolling along the ground to smash into characters. Like the crate, the barrel is heavy, so it will restrict the speed at which the character carrying it can move. The speed differs between characters. Here's the barrel cannon from Donkey Kong Country. The barrel cannons were used in Donkey Kong games as a vital means of transportation, and their explosive nature is used similarly in Super Smash Bros. Melee, On the Congo Jungle stage, one can catch characters as they fall from the main platform. Careful, the barrel cannon rotation may accidentally send you flying off the screen. Here we have Battlefield, which was first, of course, introduced in this game, Melee. Super Smash Bros. Melee borrows settings from many different games to create its stages, but the Battlefield is an original creation. While its initial impression may strike some players as a bit ominous, the layout itself is fairly standard, lending it to serious, straightforward matches. Additionally, it's used to pit players against the fighting wireframes. And the Battlefield, I almost forgot to mention, Battlefield, you can get this trophy by clearing All-Star Mode for the first time. Bayonet from Custom Robo 2. Don't know how to pronounce that first name. Tsuruyugi and Yeba, twin brothers who were bewitched by the dark power, combined their beloved robots Spear and Lance to form this illegal robot. The brothers used the Strike Vanisher model as a base, but then added a number of stealth capabilities. This successful power-up is nothing short of a custom Robo Miracle. Here we have the lightsaber, the beam sword, from Super Smash Bros. Melee, the original. With its distinctive glowing blade, the beam sword is eye-catching and lethal. At first, the blade is about the size of a short sword, but the length changes depending on who wields it. The blade also lengthens in direct proportion to the power of an attack, so it reaches its maximum size when swung as a smash attack. Here's Blossom from Pokemon Gold and Silver. From time to time, these beautiful flower Pokemon will gather in numbers and perform an odd sort of dance to call out the sun. While in the midst of this strange exhibition, their petals brush together to create a peaceful and soothing melody. A Gloom will only evolve into a Blossom if it's exposed to a Sunstone. Anyway, here's Birdo. I think I mentioned this earlier, but if you get the Birdo or the Pidgey trophy, that's how you unlock the Subcon stage, Mushroom Kingdom 2, whatever it's called. Birdo, of course, was introduced in Super Mario Bros. 2. First seen in Super Mario Bros. 2, Birdo is known for shooting eggs and fireballs from her mouth. Oh my god, did you just assume her gender? Mario and his friends would have to jump onto the eggs in midair, pick them up, and throw them back at her. Long missing from the Nintendo scene, Birdo recently appeared in Mario Tennis and Super Mario Advance. Now, Birdo's kind of an interesting character. Of course, I made that little comment earlier about her gender because I believe in the Mario Brothers 2 instruction manual, I believe in the instruction manual to that game, I believe they actually refer Birdo as a male. And I think, believe it or not, this was the first instance where Birdo was actually referred to as a female. So there's a little bit of a, I don't want to use the word conspiracy, but there's a little bit of a I don't know, theory that Birdo might be a transgender, but who knows? Use your imagination. Anyway, here's Blastoise from Pokemon Red and Blue. Blastoise is the next evolutionary step after Wartortle. The thick jets of water they shoot from the cannons on their back are strong enough to cut through steel plating. When in danger, they hide inside their armored shells. Blastoise is so popular that among trainers that it's considered the definite water type. Here we have a Bomb from Super Mario Bros. 2. These little guys are just what they appear to be. Walking bombs. Pick one up and hurl it for an incredibly potent attack. If no one picks them up, Bomb-Oms light their own fuses and start wandering around armed and dangerous. In Super Mario 64, Bob-Ombs chased Mario down once they noticed him. Pink Bob-Ombs are nice and capable of speech. Here is Boo from Super Mario Bros. 3. These shy spirits inhabit Mario's world and have been known to vanish or freeze when met face to face. In recent years, they seem to have overcome their fears in order to pursue tennis and other social activities. They usually appear in groups and fly in formation. From time to time, giant Boos make surprise appearances. Okay, so here's Bowser. Just a disclaimer, if you see a character trophy, a playable character trophy rather, this is the Bowser trophy you get for doing Classic. This is the Bowser trophy you get for doing Adventure. This is the Bowser trophy you get for doing All-Star. That applies in all instances. Anyway, Bowser, first introduced in Super Mario Bros., the OG Mario Bros. Mario has a long history of kidnapping Princess Peach to lure his nemesis Mario into traps. Excuse me. He leads an enormous group of mischievous creatures, not the least of which are his 7 children. With outrageous strength, flammable breath, and more spikes than you can shake a Star Rod at, Bowser is a constant threat. And here's Bowser for the Adventure Mode trophy. In many ways, Bowser is the toughest character around. Not only does he have near impervious hide, but his great mass makes him almost impossible to hurl off-screen. Of course, his weight also makes him rather slow to maneuver, so when facing him in battle, it's best to press your attack and not give him a chance to counter. Bowser's fire breath strikes continually, but it grows gradually smaller over time until it's barely smoldering. The Koopa Claw rakes enemies at a distance and pulls nearby foes in close for a good gnawing. Bowser's Whirling Fortress moves laterally over the ground. It works in midair as a recovery. The Bowser Bomb is powerful and paves the way for more attacks. Anyway, here is Bubbles from Clu Clu Land. The mysterious Bubbles can only move straight ahead and has problems stopping. She changes paths by sticking out her hand and grabbing a post on the way by. If Bubbles makes contact with a sea urchin, she'll pop and deflate like a balloon. Bubbles protects herself by shocking sea urchins and pushing them into walls to destroy them. Here we have Bucket from Mario & Wario. That was a Japan exclusive game. In Mario & Wario, an excellent game released only in Japan, this hidden item gets placed on Mario's head, rendering him sightless. The fairy, Wanda, then guides the helpless Mario past numerous obstacles to the goal. The M on the backup becomes a W when turned upside down, signifying that Mario has fallen under Wario's wicked control. Here's Bulbasaur from Pokemon Red and Blue. Bulbasaur is a cute Pokemon born with a large seed firmly affixed to its back. The seed grows in size as the Pokemon does. Along with Squirtle and Charmander, Bulbasaur is one of those 3 Pokemon available at the beginning of Pokemon Red and Blue. It evolves first into Ivysaur and ultimately into Venusaur. Here is Bullet Bill from Super Mario Bros., the OG Mario Bros. OG Super Mario Bros. rather. Bullet bills are shot out of cannons and fly on straight paths. In great numbers, they're a nightmare. While Mario can stop most with a single jump, the rare giant one is much tougher to avoid. In Super Smash Bros. Melee, all bullet bills are extra large. Princess Peach's castle... They burrow into Princess Peach's castle and then detonate with immense power. Here is the Bunny Hood from The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. How do you get the Bunny Hood? You have to get 125 combos with all characters in training mode. 125 combos combined. That's like cumulative with all the characters in training mode. Don the Bunny Hood to improve your agility drastically, allowing you to jump great distances and move at high speeds. The ears are a cute accessory. They're even adorable on characters they don't quite suit. The Bunny Hood was key in Majora's Mask, where it made Link move at 1.5 times his normal speed. Okay, next up, the Capsule from Super Smash Bros., the OG Smash Bros. These small containers contain, that's a great sentence, items that fly out when the capsules break. Capsules will explode roughly 12.5% of the time, so deciding when and where to break them can be quite a strategic decision. Sometimes it's better to throw them rather than attacking them directly. Explosive capsules can pack a tremendous punch. Here is Captain Olimar from Pikmin. This one's kind of funny to get. In order to get the Captain Olimar trophy, you need to have a Pikmin save file on your GameCube memory card, which also has your Melee save file on it. Such a crazy advertising gimmick, but from Nintendo, but whatever works. Anyway, Captain Olimar, the main character of the game Pikmin, Captain Olimar crash lands on a mysterious planet after his spaceship malfunctions. In order to get off the planet, he must gather the pieces of his broken ship, but the atmosphere of the planet is poisonous to Olimar. As a result, he has to enlist the help of the native Pikmin. Here is Captain Falcon. Usually a relentless bounty hunter, Captain Falcon shifts gears to become a race pilot once the F-Zero Grand Prix begins. His beloved racer, the Blue Falcon, can exceed the speed of sound, and he knows how to drive it. He'll go down as one of the all-time greats. Now 36 years old, Captain Falcon wears his F-Zero X visor. And I forgot to mention he was first introduced in F-Zero, the OG F-Zero. Falcon's style is a balanced combination of raw power and speed. His attacks are slow, but when combined with Falcon's high nobility, he's a formidable combat foe. The Falcon Punch packs the highest degree of destructive power, while the explosive Raptor Boost can be used to smash airborne foes into the depths. The knee smash, used in midair on foes in front of you, is slow and has a short reach, but if it connects, it'll send foes flying a long way on a low trajectory. Falcon uses his Falcon Dive to grab an enemy in midair and fling them away with an explosive blast. He can do this technique repeatedly without landing, so it can also be used as a recovery move. Ugh. Here's Celebi. God. How do you get the Celebi trophy? You have to have Celebi appear from a Pokeball. How do you get Celebi to appear from a Pokeball? You have to unlock all fighters, and you have to have score display unlocked in Versus Mode. How do you get score display unlocked? You have to KO 5,000 opponents combined with all characters in Versus Mode. Oh, Celebi was a bitch to get. Oh my god, that was... But once you got that 5,000 mark, it really wasn't unlocking Celebi. It was just the process of getting the 5,000 KOs. That was... Oh, that took forever. Anyway, Celebi has the power to travel through time and thus wanders from one age to the next. It is considered a deity by the forests. Plants and trees are said to grow in unimaginable abundance wherever Celebi visits. Like Mew, Celebi is a Pokemon shrouded in mystery. Its special techniques blend grass and psychic powers. Here is the useless Chansey from Pokemon Red and Blue. Renowned for its kind temperament, Chansey has been known to offer injured characters a highly nutritious egg to aid their recovery. Legend has it that this charitable creature brings happiness to anyone who captures it. All Chanseys are female, and every now and then one is found in possession of a lucky egg. Here is Charizard from Pokemon Red and Blue. It's hard to believe, but this massive flame Pokemon evolves from the tiny Charmander. Not only can it fly at the heights of over 4,500 feet, but its flaming breath is hot enough to reduce almost anything to ashes in seconds. The flames at the end of a Charizard's tail are said to be a fairly accurate barometer of its power. Here's Chikorita from Pokemon Gold and Silver. Chikorita was one of the first 3 Pokemon available in Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. A Grass-type Pokemon, it emits a delightful fragrance from the leaves on its head and loves to spend its time leisurely sunbathing. When called into battle, it uses its Razor Leaf move to strike at opponents' weak points. Here is the Chozo statue from Metroid. These statues, which provide power-ups to Samus and have some connection with her power suit, have been found in many places, most notably Zebes. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but I don't know if it's Zebes or Zebes, but the Chozo boasted the most advanced civilization in their galaxy. Some say that when they could advance no further, they chose to withdraw and observe other life forms. Here's Clefairy from Pokemon Red and Blue. Clefairy are very cute Pokemon, which makes them popular pets. However, as they're only found in a few areas, it takes a lot of work to find one. Strangely enough, legend has it that Clefairy are more active during the full moon. These Pokemon are known to use Metronome, a move that unleashes a randomly selected attack. Here's Cleffa from Pokemon Gold and Silver. With silhouettes that resemble stars, Cleffa are often sighted when the night sky is filled with shooting stars. Cleffa evolves into Clefairy, but only if it has a strong bond of friendship with its trainer. Since Cleffa are so cute and lovable, many trainers choose to keep it in this unevolved form. That's adorable. Here's the cloaking device from this state-of-the-art camouflage device bends light rays in such a way that players using it appear almost invisible. The device fosters confusion, and players using it will not take damage while cloaked. This does not mean, however, that players become invulnerable, so they can still be sent reeling or flying across the screen, depending on their damage percentages. There is something, I don't remember what the top secret means. I want to say it's possibly a reference to, I want to say it's GoldenEye 007 or like one of the James Bond games, but don't quote me on that. There's a reason it says top secret. I just can't remember why. Anyway, here is the coin from Mario Brothers. The Mushroom Kingdom is dotted with these mysterious coins. There seems to be an endless supply hidden in various blocks, and Mario gains an extra life when he manages to collect 100 of them. No one can confirm whether or not these coins are actually used as the currency of the Mushroom Kingdom, but it's a safe assumption. I'm glad they mentioned that, because I've always wondered if that was the accepted form of currency in the Mushroom Kingdom. Here's the crate from the OG Smash Brothers. A crate will release lots of items when it's broken open. It's very heavy, so unless your character is strong, you'll walk slowly while under its burden. You can throw crates up, down, left, or right, but it's hard to hit opponents because the throwing process takes time. Every now and then, a crate will explode under duress. Okay. Oh, this one. Yeah, Crazy Hand. So, how do you get the Crazy Hand? How do you get the Crazy Hand trophy? Excuse me. You have to complete Adventure Mode on hard or very hard. No continues. I ended up doing that with, who did I do that with? I did that off screen. Oh, I did that with Roy on hard. That's right. Yeah, after my attempt on very hard, didn't exactly go as planned. So, anyway, of course, Crazy Hand was first introduced in Melee, where the Master Hand loves to crate, Create, its alter ego is impulsive and destructive, consumed with that hollow feeling which comes from destroying one's own creations. The Crazy Hand appears when a player clears obstacles quickly and the Master Hand's power is low. You only have one chance to defeat the Crazy Hand. Here's Crobat from Pokemon Gold and Silver, one of my favorite Pokemon from Pokemon Crystal. A bat Pokemon that evolves from Golbat, Crobat's hind legs have evolved into a second pair of wings, which allows it to fly at great speeds, but limits its ability to rest. The affection a Golbat has for its trainer is vital for the evolution process. If a novice trainer has a Crobat, it shows that he or she cares for Pokemon well. Here is cute old Cyndaquil from Pokemon Gold and Silver. Cyndaquil frighten easily, so they're often found curled up into balls. When threatened, they flare the flames on their backs to drive off enemies. Cyndaquil was one of 3 Pokemon that trainers could choose from at the beginning of Pokemon Silver, Gold, or Crystal, the OG. At least my OG. No one knows if their eyes are open. I like how they mentioned that because I always think they look closed. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay, here we have Princess Daisy from Super Mario Land. The Princess of Saha... You know, I never know how to pronounce that. Sarasa, I guess? I don't know. Sarasa Land. Daisy met Mario when he helped defeat the evil alien... What is it with these fucking names? Tatanga in Super Mario Land. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I never played Super Mario Land. Princess Daisy is a bit of a tomboy when compared with her counterpart, Princess Peach. After her appearance in Mario Golf, some gossips started portraying her as Luigi's answer to Mario's Peach. Ah, good old Discun. Yes, the Discun Trophy. How do you get the Discount Trophy? Of course, you have to earn all 249 bonuses. Not the hardest thing to do, but the most time-consuming, definitely. This little guy is the adorable mascot for a Nintendo Entertainment System peripheral device released in 1986. Using the disc system, you could rewrite games for 500 yen. An epical and economical feature. Funnily enough, the instruction booklet was sold separately for 100 yen. Mod on, Nintendo. What were you doing? The disc system's first game was The Legend of Zelda. Here is Ditto from Pokemon Red and Blue. Every Ditto has the ability to copy a Pokemon's entire cell structure in an instant and become its exact replica. They're terrible at remembering techniques, but when they use Transform, they temporarily learn all of their foes' moves. If a Ditto starts to laugh, it weakens and can't hold its transformation. Here is Dixie Kong from Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy Kong's Quest. Something I also forgot to mention in the Donkey Kong video. I forgot to mention Donkey Kong's Up B, his spinning Kong, is loosely based off of Dixie Kong's little spin move from that game. More than just Diddy Kong's girlfriend, Dixie Kong is also a fearless adventurer and a reliable team player. She earned her wings helping Diddy rescue Donkey Kong from the clutches of King K. Rool. Dixie's amazingly quick and nimble, and she's even able to twirl her ponytail in order to float slowly through the air. Here's Donby and Hickory from Shin Onigashima. Whatever that is. Donby and Hickory are the main characters in this video game version of a classic Japanese folktale. The game chronicles the lives of our fearless heroes from their births to the time they were Drone the Evil from the Island of Ogres. They are accompanied in their adventures by Ringo, the dog, Matsunosuke, the monkey, and Ohana, the pheasant. Okay. There's Donkey Kong from the Donkey Kong arcade game. While he now prefers the laid-back jungle lifestyle to construction site mischief, DK is often forced back into action by the Kremling crew. The great ape is quite fast despite his burly physique, and he keeps his strength up with a steady diet of his favorite food, bananas. His one extravagance and only piece of clothing is a monogrammed necktie. Donkey Kong is a huge target in a fight, so he hates crowds. When he's in the fray, his giant punch deals serious damage to multiple opponents. The big ape's headbutt hits so hard that it temporarily buries opponents in the ground. DK is a lot faster than he looks, and he's lethal in the hands of a master. Being the strongest simian around, DK has the upper hand once he grabs an opponent. He can even lift his foe up and make him or her an unwilling traveling companion. If DK grabs you, shake your control stick as fast as you can to break his grip. His spinning Kong covers more lateral distance than vertical, so use it quickly to recover. Here we have the Donkey Kong Jr. Trophy. How do you get this guy? You have to complete Classic Mode with all characters. This, of course, is from the arcade game of the same name. Donkey Kong Jr. came to the rescue when Mario imprisoned his father. DK Jr.'s challenge was to collect the keys to Donkey Kong's cage, all the while dropping fruit on his enemies from high above. He was able to climb faster by using 2 ivy vines at once. This ape is also quite skilled at kart racing, tennis, and mathematics. Yes, DK Jr. Math. That's a game I'd play if I was stupid. I guess I'd play it if I was stupid, because I didn't know math that well. Anyway, here's Dr. Mario from the NES game of the same name. Immaculate in his medical garb, Dr. Mario destroys killer viruses with his amazing vitamin capsules. With his dedicated nurse, Princess Peach, at his side, Dr. Mario spends day and night in his laboratory working on new miracle cures. Somehow he's managed to keep up with all of the new viruses that have arisen over the years. There's hardly any difference in the ability of Mario and Dr. Mario, so choosing is largely a matter of taste. Yeah, we get it, Nintendo. You didn't feel like making a new character. Now, Dr. Mario is a tad slower due to his lack of exercise, but his Mega Vitamins pack a bit more punch than Mario's Fireballs. The capsules travel on a unique trajectory and make a distinct sound on impact. The differences between Dr. Mario and Mario are more pronounced in some areas than others, but basically they can be played in similar fashion. While it may be hard to spot the contrast, they do exist. For example, Dr. Mario's Super Sheet is longer and narrower than Mario's cape, and any opponents hit by Dr. Mario will fly off in diverse directions. Here's Dr. Stewart from F-Zero, the OG F-Zero. Dr. Stewart inherited the Golden Fox upon the death of his father, and soon became an F-Zero pace setter. The Fox, it's supposed to be the Golden Fox, but whatever. The Golden Fox, which bears the lucky number 3, doesn't have the highest of traction ratings, but a skilled pilot will thrill at the sensation of drifting through corners, and this machine requires a high degree of technical ability. I agree. If you know how to use the Golden Fox, that machine is fun as shit. Here's Dr. Wright from SimCity. The assistant to the mayor of SimCity, Dr. Wright was actually named after the creator of the game. As a player, you'd have to use your wisdom and experience to give the timely advice to the mayor. If you did a good job, the city prospered. Dr. Wright is one of the leaders in the all-time bizarre Nintendo game hairstyle contest. Here are ducks from Duck Hunt. These friendly fowl are the targets in the game Duck Hunt, which utilizes the Nintendo Zapper light gun. They appear and randomly fly about trying to escape after your faithful, if slightly clamorous, hunting dog fleshes them out. Once you drop the ducks, your dog dutifully fletches them by the napes of their necks and grins at you. Okay, anyway, here's Eevee, as adaptable a Pokemon as any yet discovered. Eevee's revolutionary progress changes to meet the conditions of its environment. So far, 5 evolutionary forms have been discovered, and then this cataloged for this unique Pokemon. Vaporeon, Jolteon, Flareon, Espeon, and Umbreon. All evolutions have special benefits. Here's the egg from the OG Smash Bros. Eggs are basically the same as capsules in that they'll release items when you break them open. They've been known to explode too. The likelihood that certain items may be inside eggs depend on the type of stage being played. Sometimes eggs will contain health replenishing food items, other times they may hold weapons. Here is Eggplant Man from Wrecking Crew. Eggplant Man debuted as an enemy in the NES game Wrecking Crew. Even though this movement pattern was very simple, he was a fairly formidable foe since Mario and Luigi had limited means of attack. You could beat this enemy by dropping a dead end drum on him, or by tapping him behind a door and blowing up the room. Here's Electrode from Pokemon Red and Blue. Electrode, an electric ball Pokemon, is the evolved form of Voltorb. It has the tendency to explode with even the slightest provocation, which has earned it the nickname Wrecking Ball. Electrode is the quickest Pokemon found to date, and its distinctive white over red coloring is the opposite of Voltorb's. Here is Entei. If you guys remember, we unlocked Entei by completing event number 26, which I believe was the second trophy tussle. He is from Pokemon Gold and Silver. A volcanic fire type, Entei is hotter than liquid magma and is as tough as nails. This powerful creature was one of the 3 Pokemon running around the burned tower of whatever the hell you pronounce that city. Entei is extremely difficult to seek out and capture, as it tends to wander all over the landscape, sprouting intense flames from its body. His Excitebike from the NES game of the same name. This top-of-the-line motocross motorcycle can accelerate like crazy with its turbo, but this also causes the temperature gauge to rise rapidly. If used too often, the bike will overheat. You can cool your hot bike down by running over special icons scattered across the track. The turbo and ramps let you pull insane airs.